All right, we'll let a few people come in here. Oh, she's here. Okay. Oh, all right. So she's ready,
She is.
but I don't know if she. I don't know. You must use StreamYards with her, so
Pardon me?
you've used StreamYards with her though. I know I sent you the link, so
Yeah. No, no, I did my first two interviews with her through print. So this will be
oh,
my first time seeing her face to face. But I do know her and I know her work.
all right. I'm
Ta-da.
all right. I might have to hold on. Let me just send it to her again.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if I've left or not. Um,
Hey, if you do have to go, John,
you there? Hold on.
yeah, okay. If you do have to go, do you want me to just to start a stream on my side and
All
bring
right.
them?
You can hear that? I didn't know. Oh, she's in studio. All right. So she's. Let me invite her in there. I'm having all sorts of problems today here. All right. Well, it doesn't say she's in there, so let me give her the link here. I think she might be in. All right. Let's see if she'd be able to pop in. Not sure if anybody's here yet.
Hey, I'm
I'm
just gonna.
usually way more nervous than this with everything going on. It's just
Do
not
you
going
want?
well. We got a couple people in here. Go ahead and say hi. I think it's Laura's first time using StreamYard, so I just gave her the link,
Okay. Yeah, we're
and
frozen
hopefully she.
on.
Everybody, I look tired, and I'm not.
We're frozen on YouTube. Oh no, I'm open. You're frozen on YouTube. I'm okay.
I'm frozen.
Yeah, on YouTube.
All right. Well, let me. I'm gonna back out, I guess, and come back in. All right. It says she has to download something. That's weird. She
Ask her to
shouldn't have.
open up. Ask her to open up in Chrome. Tell her to open up in Chrome. She should be able to walk right in.
Ugh. Hey, Hobbs, what's going on? Hey, have cheatable view. You're here. All right. Well, it's good to see everybody. Laura's just getting in here. I'm not in the crypt as I usually am. We've got a little tornado warning coming. Exciting stuff.
Oh yeah.
Laura's bringing the storm. She's bringing the
You know.
storm. She's
Do
coming
you
in
know
like a.
that do you know I have an anti-tornado defense in my house?
Oh, you got the cheetah.
I do. When if
So
we ever have a cleanup, if we ever have a tornado, I just spread treats counterclockwise and cut them loose.
yeah, and it reverses the storm.
Exactly.
I need a cheetah,
You need a cheetah. We all need cheetahs.
and I'm not frozen anymore on YouTube.
No, no, you're fine.
Okay, cool.
Um, if you want, just I'm saying this live stream here, but if you want, I can make a backup stream ready And if you have, for some reason, have to run, I can go ahead and I can continue the interview there, or if you just want to, pull the plug, whatever you feel comfortable with.
We'll by ear, that's fine. If it because I want to give her time. I've been looking forward to talking to her, and I
Oh
think
yeah.
I have about 20 minutes more before the warning's over. We'll see.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's just kind of keeping us aware. As long as I don't
Which
lose.
is worse? Is it the watch is worse or the warning's worse?
Um, I don't even know anymore. Warning's not good. Tornado watch is worse. So right now it's saying warning. So effective till 3:15. So we might be good. I might actually set up downstairs if we hit the 3:15 point, because then
Okay.
I know we're good. Oh, she might be here.
Yay.
Here she is.
Ta-da! He's here.
There she is. Hey, Laura, how are you?
Yay! I made it.
Yay.
I'm so sorry to keep you waiting.
As long as I don't get swept away and the house
I'm
starts falling
great. How are
away,
you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Well, you already said great. Yeah, I'm watching the tornado warning. So far, I
Can you
got
guys
about
hear
10
me?
minutes. Yeah, I can
Uh-huh.
hear you.
We're at a 10-second to 15-second.
Okay. Am I frozen or are you guys frozen? I don't know if you can hear us.
Looks like I'm frozen on YouTube.
Oh,
Can you hear us, Laura?
I'm sorry. We have a little bit of a delay, but I'm getting
Yeah, it's got to travel all the way to the UK.
it.
But it's nice to have you on. I know you had problems last week, and like I was saying, hopefully I don't get taken away in a tornado. But got about 5 minutes.
Hello.
I think it goes over.
You
Hello,
froze
Vi.
a second for me.
I didn't hear. Can you hear us? I don't know how big the delay is.
I can hear you. I think we just have a bit of a delay.
Okay, we're good now. I think we're good. A little delay. So how are you doing? This way I can.
Yeah, the joys of transatlantic StreamYarding, hey?
Yeah, it sounds. I think we're on a boat. Oh, I lost her. We lost her.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the delay is pretty bad. I don't know if it's the connection though either. But you
Right.
seem to. Maybe it was her connection. You know how this StreamYards is sometimes though.
Yeah.
You gotta back out and come back in. I was having that problem a few tiws. Oh, here
Yeah.
she is.
It always happens in the first of the interview. If you can survive this first few minutes, we'll be fine. But it's
Yeah.
always glitchy at first.
I think she's even got a better connection this time. It looks like it anyway. She's in a little clearer on my screen.
Okay.
Although can't tell either. Oh, there she is.
There she is. And she's back.
She's back. I don't know how long the delay is, so I don't want to cut her off if she starts talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely temperamental today.
Hi. Again.
How well are you hearing us? We'll see when this delay hits her. I don't know if she can hear us. Can you hear us, Laura? I think she froze up again.
Yeah.
I'm here. I can hear like little bits of things, but we're like kind of get.
Oh no. Well, how about this? Hopefully it doesn't break up. You go ahead and let everybody know who you. Oh, she's gone. I think she's having connection issues, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
because I don't think it's too much on our end. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's just. Do you want me to try on my side, John, or
You can.
yeah, maybe it's your area too, because your weather and the tornado. I could
It
try.
could be.
Let me
It
let me
could be.
try. Let me try. And if it's still the glitchy like it is with you, then we'll know. Let- That's if you want me to. I don't want to. This is your car. I'm just a
Fine.
passenger.
I want her to be able to have her moment, time to shine. I mean, even if it doesn't matter whose channel it's on, I'm
Let
not
me
worried.
let me, let me get this
We can
going.
send everything over there. But you're coming in fine. I don't know if I'm coming in fine for you, but
Yeah,
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 you
you're just sometimes you're frozen.
okay.
Let me just get this running and just see if we can, because I can fix this. Oh,
I wonder if she just said hell with it now. I don't know.
yeah, that's just
It's a shame because I know I've been looking forward to talking to her. I know she's been excited too.
right. Let me go ahead and. All right, well, I know what I'm doing it all wrong here. All right, let me see if I can do this right. Uh, I'm gonna create the broadcast.
Let me let her know, Patrick, you're trying on it. You're on.
Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm panicking here. Relax. Today at 4:15. I'm gonna make it 4:30.
Oh, here she is. Let me bring her on. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
And I
Alright,
just
oh,
messaged.
you guys aren't as glitchy this time.
Wow.
Now
Now you sound perfectly clear.
Yeah, now you're great. Perfect.
Yes!
There we go. There we go.
Finally, I'm so sorry. I'm in a hotel. The Wi-Fi is terrible. I've just turned my
Oh,
data on.
I know all about those hotel Wi-Fis. Well, it's good to see you. Finally, been able to connect. I've been really excited to talk to you. I really enjoyed the movies. I watched a few of them. I watched Monster. I watched. Oh, I had everything written down, but it's been a crazy morning. Introspective Hotel, and
Oh,
I started watching. And I got it. I had it pulled up, and of course, I lost it. The house one. I can't remember the first part of it. Let me pull it up. I feel terrible. Uh,
Introspection hotel. Hotel.
it
I'm
wasn't
usually
next
more
door, was
prepared,
it?
but with this tornado warning, it kind of had me on my feet because I'm at work too, so I take care of three guys, so I got to keep an eye, like make sure they're safe too, and yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, so. But I did enjoy Monster a lot, especially considering I work with special needs, and it had a Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel, kind of a Saw vibe to it. It had a bunch of different.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and it kind of had a Beauty and the Beast vibe to it on top.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're not the first person who said that, actually. There's a few people who said that to me.
It definitely did. I don't want to give away too much of the movie, but it was really good. I enjoyed that one a lot, and I enjoyed Introspectrum Hotel. That was really the title kind of has a real meaning to it once you watch it, and it had a lot of twists and turns, and I thought your character was really great.
Oh, thank you. It's definitely not one to watch with children, though, is it? It's not a kids'
No.
film.
Well, that's all right. I wanted to ask you about that too. So, how did you guys all meet? Because I noticed you're in a lot of films with a lot of the same actors. And Here Comes the Rain and The Heavy Rain. Do you get? It seems like you guys were in theater or something before. That's kind of the vibe I get. You guys are a lot of theater actors, and I know one.
Well, yeah, sorry, I cut you off.
You're good. You're fine. So we'll
Okay.
start with theater.
No, I was gonna say I started off in theatre, but it was more sort of musical theatre rather than sort of serious acting theatre. So I'm very sort of musically inclined, but musical theatre it's very much over acting, you know. Um, but yeah, I started off in theatre, but the aim of the whole acting career was to start off in theatre, singing and dancing while my body was still able to. And then sort of when I retired from that to sort of start film acting, which I have done since I think early 2017, when it was sort of more of a serious career move rather than a bit of a hobby in between contracts, because I used to work abroad. It was doing musical theatre on stage. And when I came back to England, I'd take a few student films. There was a few feature films that I did. Christmas Sleigh was one of them over in Bulgaria, which was a lot of fun. That was actually my first feature. But early 2017 was when I made the serious move to acting as a career. But yeah, you're right. I started off in theatre.
Some really interesting actors. I can't think of his name. The father in Monster, and he was also in Introspectrum Hotel. He's very intense. Is he like the nicest guy off screen, but he gets into that role and he definitely dives into it. He's
Yeah,
got
Rod Glenn, who played Richard. Yeah,
yes.
honestly, he honestly could not be a sweeter guy. It's always the really nice guys or like the nice people who play the meanest characters. He's absolutely nothing like Richard in Monster. He wouldn't hurt a fly. We get on so well. But he like a lot of the scenes that we did, I was genuinely scared because he just as soon as action, he completely switched. It was crazy.
Yeah, he's intense. He's intense when he gets into his scenes.
Yeah.
And I did a really good. I thought you guys all did a really good job. Like, I mean,
Well,
that was not an easy role, I imagine, in Monster to play for you, especially.
yeah, there was just a little bit of crying involved, you know. Just it was quite intense for me. I'd say it was a very big starting block to the acting career because it was the first film that I did when I decided to take on acting full time. Um, and the line learning was definitely something else. But being on set with everybody, they'd all had a lot more experience than me, so it was. I felt quite intimidated at first, sort of getting on set before I got to know everybody, but they were all really, really helpful. The Tracy Shaw in particular, who played Mary, the mum, she was here in England. We have Coronation Street. I don't know if you guys know the TV show. She was a main character in that for quite a while, and she passed on a lot of sort of tips and tricks and everything. And she also advised me before a lot of the scenes as well, which was really nice. It was kind of like an acting boot camp as well as a film, if that makes sense.
Well, if you've watched it, it makes perfect sense. It's an intense movie. It really is. There's some scenes that are really intense in that movie. I'm sure, like you said, it probably was easy to get into character because he's so intense. His
Yeah.
intensity probably is easier to feed off of because you were put in some uncomfortable situations, I imagine, as an actress, but and used it and did very, very well with it. And I enjoyed that part because there were times you couldn't really move too much.
Yeah,
You weren't
it
able
was
to
quite a
use
claustrophobic set. Well, lucky because we had quite a small crew. Matt Shaw, the director, he only works with a small crew anyway, so we don't really need a first director because Matt he's in constant communication with everybody because we're all quite small. So that really helped with the scenes, especially in the attic for the birthday cake scene, without giving too much away. But yeah, it was. Looking back on it, it was probably one of the biggest learning experiences I've had so far on camera.
I can believe it. You did a fantastic job. I thought it was a really interesting movie, and I didn't realize it was a book first, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I'm so happy that I read the script before I read the book because the book is really intense. Did you read it?
I didn't read the book. I do want to. Got a lot more in there where maybe there
Oh
could
yeah.
be room for prequels and sequels and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the book, because I got the script and Matt messaged me and he said, this is the script, it's a work in progress. If there's anything that you're uncomfortable with, he's really good like that actually. If he always says if there's anything that you're uncomfortable with, let me know and we can work around it, which is great. Because he deals with some serious subjects. And you know, extreme horror is his thing, you know. But the script itself I was really happy with it. It was the role of a lifetime. It was fantastic. And then I ended up buying the book from Amazon and I read it and I was like, whoa, this is so much more intense than the script. But I think as a script, it really worked well being portrayed on the screen. Whereas I think if you'd have taken the novella and put that as a script and taken it to screen, I don't know if it would have worked as well. They're both exactly the same stories, but there's a few things missed out in the script than there is from the book, if that makes sense.
Well, it's so hard to put a whole book into, say, an hour. I think it was a little over an hour, the movie, from what I remember, about an hour and 20 minutes or so. Not even an hour and 20 minutes, was it? I can't remember the.
No. Yeah, I think we're probably like 72 or 73 minutes or something. I could be completely wrong. I don't know.
It was a little over an hour. But you got a lot in there, and that I don't think I'll ever eat birthday cake the same.
Oh yeah, that scene. Oh man.
I thought the special effects, because I'm a big practical effects guy. I love practical effects. I thought that was real. Some of it was really well done, especially considering I know it's a budget on these indie projects that you take with that also. And I thought it was really well done, and some of the acting was really good. It was such a confined place too, where you were shooting. It seemed that really added the intensity too, because it was basically nowhere to go or run.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, on screen, I'm glad that you got that from it because filming it felt exactly the same for me. It was so claustrophobic and confined, and it was because we shot at night as well, and it was freezing, which added to it as well. So yeah, I'm really glad that you got that from it.
I could tell I'm a claustrophobic guy, so watching the movie at times gave me claustrophobia. So it was interesting. Now I got a question. Maybe you know. All the pictures, was that like a campaign perk where people sent their pictures and it was a perk? And I figured that the stuff.
It was great. I got to meet a lot of them. It was really nice.
I can imagine I could imagine you guys all really have a good friendship because you've worked with these people more than one occasion.
Yeah.
You've worked with these people quite a few times from what I saw. You did it on Introspectum Hotel. That was a different director, though.
Introspectum Hotel was a completely different company, but Next Door was also with Matt Shaw. I mean, they're all quite similar, whereas they're very psychological. But Next Door was with Matt Shaw and a lot of the same crew. I don't know if you saw Next Door actually.
I started watching it, and it seems like it's
Ah,
individual stories. So you're the first story that I saw in there, and that was
yes.
I like that. I like that one a lot. I did. I thought it was great. It was really cool. And then at the end,
I love how you like it was great.
I'm a polite guy. It was great. It was. I did like it.
Yeah,
It was good.
that was a very, very different kind of role for me. I'd never played anything like that before, but we had so much fun with it. I was honestly really, really nervous the night before filming.
I had a feeling you'd be pretty nervous on that one because it was different than what I've seen. And a lot of the roles in a lot of the films you
I think we've frozen.
I froze. Am I froze still?
No, you're good now.
Okay. So a lot of your roles are
Hello?
pretty intense. Can you hear me? Can you hear Pat? See if she can hear you, Patrick.
Can you hear me, Laura? Can you hear me? No.
I think that hotel, the hotel internet definitely explains it because I've been there. They never give you good internet.
No, they never do.
And then you got 100 people using the internet too. So I'm sure she'll come.
Thanks for everybody showing up for John's interview with Laura Ellen Wilson.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I see Ricky's here, and fellow UK citizen.
I see my friend Sabuana here. Camp Crystal Cabin 6 is here.
Yeah, I see that.
I do need to
Hobbs,
read more. I do need to read more.
Yeah, I need to.
I wind up reading my notes and making sure I don't make too many mistakes when I'm at work.
You're doing fine.
Oh,
You're doing great. I'm just kicked back watching. You're doing awesome. I'm just enjoying it.
Well, hopefully she's able to get back. Like she was saying, she's at that hotel, so that's a tough one with those internets there, especially if it's a busy hotel.
Yeah, she must be on location. I wonder.
Probably.
Is she on location?
She's here. We'll ask her. I'm sure she'll tell. Let's see what's up. Let's get her in here. Oh, I just muted her.
Oh.
I don't need to mute her. Meant to add her.
You can mute me. That's fine. I don't mind.
No. They want to hear you, not me. So are you?
I'm so sorry. The Wi-Fi is so bad.
It's okay. Yeah, at least when you're here now, at least we're able to communicate without a long delay and stuff. So even if you got to pop out once in a while and pop back in, that's fine. So you're at a hotel. Patrick had a great question too. I'll let you ask it, Patrick.
Are you on location, Laura?
I am on location. I am in Birmingham, UK. I'm filming tomorrow. It's for it should be out in about 4 days.
I think I broke the connection with my question.
Oh no, I heard your question. I think, are you breaking up? Am I breaking up?
Oh,
You're not breaking up on me. Patrick broke up a little bit on mine.
okay. Okay. So yeah, I was gonna ask you if you're on location.
Yeah, I'm on location in Birmingham in the UK. I'm filming a social media campaign for a tattoo company franchise. It's a Halloween campaign, so it should be out in about 3 or 4 days. The team have been really quick with editing. I've been on this set for 2 days prior to tomorrow, and then we're gonna wrap tomorrow early afternoon. Then you guys should be able to see it on just before Halloween, I think.
Well, they get things done. They don't mess around.
Yeah, they're so quick. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, that is impressive. Usually wrap it up, film, and there's another, 6, 8 months, a year at least.
Yeah.
So it's a Halloween film. Is it actually like a Halloween Michael Myers film or a Halloween themed film?
It's a Halloween themed film. The tattoo company, they're called Vivid Ink. They have different shops all over the UK. The main shop is in Birmingham, which is where I'm filming. They last year they did a Freddy Krueger Friday the 13th themed Halloween film. They're only short films. They're just for sort of social media, but they're really, really well done. Last year's was amazing. This year we're going for a bit of a Walking Dead theme, which is nice because I get to do a bit of action, which I haven't actually done on camera before. So I'm really looking forward to it.
So finally, your martial arts skills we're gonna see on screen, huh?
Just only ever so slightly, but they're in there for sure.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I kicking people in the face a little, some back kicks. 'Cause I
Yeah,
know
maybe
you
a
guys-
little bit, a little bit.
I love that.
Maybe a scorpion kick.
Oh, I don't think I'm flexible enough to do that anymore.
Oh,
Laura wins. I could see her. Mortal Kombat.
fatality.
So what martial arts do you train in?
I'm a black belt in Kung Fu, but I have trained in Taekwondo as well. Both of them rely really heavily on flexibility, which kind of that's where I excel. So yeah, I like all the flexible stuff.
Have you tried jujitsu or anything like that?
No, but my mum's actually a black belt in jiu-jitsu. She used to be a police officer, and part of her training was to do jiu-jitsu, and she really excelled in that. So yeah, the black belt kind of runs in the family, I guess.
That's pretty cool. I did a little bit of MMA training, but
Nice.
we didn't really do belts or anything when I did it. I did it more for exercises. I was still a little too old, but I do miss it. I do miss it. Just kickboxing, boxing, and the jujitsu was always a lot of fun. And just learning new things. So I
See,
mean,
that's
it's really
fun
cool.
because you don't really have the pressure of having the exam for belts as well. So that's really fun. I like that.
That's cool though. So how long have you been doing Taekwondo for? Sounds like that's your first love.
Yeah, well, I'd say Kung Fu was the first one. I started when I was about 11. I got my black belt when I was 16. But then I thought Taekwondo is really sort of flexibility based, and I really wanted to try that. So I did Taekwondo for about a year, and then I ended up working abroad. So I didn't really carry it on, which I'm really sad about because I really enjoyed it.
So what kind of films? Now you got a little Walking Dead vibe action kind of film. Is that something I could see the smile. It's something you want to do more of? Is more action
Yeah, I
film?
love it. I
can
love
see it.
anything to do with action. Anything to do with action, horror, I'm there.
That's cool. That is really cool. So you do enjoy doing the horror because you've done a lot of horror and different vibes. I don't know if you'd call Introspectrum Hotel a horror, but it's definitely a thriller.
Yeah, definitely. That was I actually wasn't too sure what I signed up for when I auditioned for it. I knew that it was a thriller, and I knew that it was only in one location. But the dialogue that I was given for the audition, I was really intrigued about. So I sort of went ahead with the audition and I got offered the role. And I did the very actor thing of saying, "Can I read the script first?" I feel really awful saying that. But you got to know what you get yourself into, don't you? So yeah, I read the script and I really liked the role of Nina, and I just liked the direction which the film went in. And it was very different to what I've done, even though it's still sort of a psychological thriller. I just really liked the vibe, and the company was really nice as well. Marcel, the director, was brilliant. So yeah.
I'm actually looking at Next Door now too. That's another one that was. Now, is there more of you in there? Because I was watching it was late night. I go, I got to catch up on Laura, and I was watching a bunch of films, and I get so busy lately. It's just been crazy because I work a lot of hours, and I'm trying to catch up on everything. And I've enjoyed your work. I've enjoyed seeing you, and and
Well,
watching
thank
what you guys do. It's because UK has a very different way of filming and doing things, and it's really interesting as somebody who's a fan of films to see from the UK side, because even comedy is very different in the UK than it is in America.
Very.
Let's see, I mean, like Benny Hill was one of my favorite British comedies back in the day. That was back in the day as a kid. The Monty Python, a very different type of comedy. Mr. Bean. So I
Yes.
find it funny, but it's very different styles, even with the more serious stuff that you've done in the horror. So, what are your influences there in the UK? Some of the stuff that got you into acting, or was it American horror, or was it more UK horror? Or
Um, I think I'm very comedy. I think I love doing comedy. I've played a couple of comic roles, but they've been in a horror. I've never done an actual comedy movie or film or anything. Um, the whole comedy genre, I would say, is a completely different form of acting to regular acting in general. There is a very, very skill set that you need to carry off comedy. Um, it's not something that I've trained in, and it's not something that I'm sure I could carry off. So I have a lot of respect for comedy actors. Um, I would say English comedy. If you haven't seen Faulty Towers yet, I would recommend that you see it. It's very typical of English comedy. There's a lot of slapstick in it. But in terms of influences, I honestly I can't give you a definitive answer there. I'm sorry. That I'm honestly, it's gonna sound really really cliche, but I'm influenced by everything that I watch. Um, I see actors on screen and I'm like, that's an amazing role. I'd love to do that. What's their name? And I'll IMDb them and I'll see what else they've been in, and then I'll watch everything.
oh, I think we lost her again.
I think we just watched her leave, but she'll be back. Man,
But
you're doing awesome, John. You're
what
doing awesome, man. I'm just sitting back here, just letting you do your thing, brother.
I appreciate. I want you to be involved, though. You're here too.
You're
I
crushing
noticed
it.
the middle of chat too, which helps me out a lot too, because I try to do.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I find that's why I'm like, when Mr. Bones comes over when I'm doing the interview show, man, it's a godsend. It really is. Knowing that there's, if there's any trouble in the chat, he's there to help take care of it, and to share links and stuff, which I'm doing right now. I'm gonna share some more of your links.
Yeah, absolutely. Share Laura's links in there. I know I have it in the description, or at least I think I do, for some of her stuff. That'd be great. That'd be a big help. Because I was trying to set up my computer, and then the tornado warning came. So I got a computer downstairs. I want to get a setup going, rearranging the office, getting ready for today. Because I have Laura right now, which is awesome. Been excited to talk to her. I'm glad to having a blast. So I'm sure she'll be back. But then I also got Michael Levy tonight from Terrifier and Terrifier 2 in the upcoming Scream movie. So it's a busy day for me, but it's a fun one. It's kind of like a birthday.
It really is. I call it day of show, right? Whenever I was doing live music, whenever there was a live show, man, the day that the show landed on, man, your whole energy level went straight up through the roof, man. You were anxious, you're jittery, but it's all good. It was all a good feeling.
She's back. Can you hear
I'm
us?
so sorry, guys.
It's okay, no problem. Well, what I was going to say too before you got cut off is comedy. If you could pull off comedy, and from what I've learned, if you can do comedy, you can do almost anything. It's a great way to grow. I know a lot of people actually have gone to comedians, like with Breaking Bad. Bill Burr was a comedian, and that's why they got him, because they find comedians can transition to acting very well, which I think is pretty cool. And Bill Burr was great in Breaking Bad, if you've never seen that before.
Oh,
That's
I binged it. I binged Breaking Bad. It's such a great series.
what it is. You get through the first few episodes, it's like, what are these people talking about? It's good, and then once you get to some of the characters in that, and the way that story unfolds, it's my favorite series of all time. That's not comedy, like drama series. Breaking Bad's my favorite of all time.
Yeah, I would say I do get asked a lot what my favorite series of all time would be, and Breaking Bad is definitely in the top three for sure.
And what they did with the special effects on that one, especially the one explosion scene. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who's never watched Breaking Bad.
Is this the one with the wheelchair bell?
Yes.
Yes.
That was such a great, like, I didn't expect it the first time I watched it. There's no way.
No.
How they made it look was so good. That is one of my favorite scenes that I've ever seen on TV, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
It was, and that was some CGI, and I'm usually not a CGI guy, but it was CGI, but practical effects blended in. And they killed it on that scene. Literally killed it on
It
that
was
scene.
perfect. Like the most perfect scene ever, wasn't it?
So good. So good. There was so many great scenes, but that is definitely my top 5 scenes of all times on TV. Maybe number 1, just because I can't think of a TV scene that topped that. So good. So since you're a big horror fan and you've been in quite a few horror movies, we're gonna go back to Monster a little bit. Was it cool seeing how practical effects come together as an actress, and seeing the way they do it and learning more with that? Is that something you get interested in, or you just let them do their thing and you just kind of look at it so you get surprised, or you see the process they go through to do it?
Oh no, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. It's the first time I'd properly seen prosthetics and special effects being done like in front of me. Like I'd seen YouTube tutorials and everything like that, but to see it in front of me was amazing. I kept going in the room, especially for the actual monster. I kept going into the room and seeing it sort of progress each time I went in, and I almost didn't want to keep going in, but there was something that was like pulling me in each time, like every 15 minutes to go in. But just seeing it from start to finish was just incredible. The makeup team on that film was amazing.
Yeah, you had some good cake decorators, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Placed the candles perfectly.
Yeah.
Looked delicious. You looked like you really
It
enjoyed
tasted
it.
delicious.
I'm sure it looked it. Seriously, how was it tasted? Because you did a good job acting pretty repulsed by it.
It
Yeah.
didn't taste great. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't hire them for my birthday cake. I'm not gonna lie.
So if you guys ever watch Monster and you want to send her a birthday cake, don't send that one. So
I'll be very appreciative, but I probably won't eat it.
that's too funny. Yeah, you can send it. You might blow out the candles, but you'll share with everybody else. You don't want to be greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and I did like Introspectrum Hotel. That was kind of I don't want to say smaller role for you because it wasn't a small role by any means. But what you did, I think you did really, really well in that film, and I really enjoyed it. And your character was was really pivotal in a way, where even though it wasn't say one of the mains, it was a really important character. So I really enjoyed that part of it because you didn't really expect it, but there was so much to do with the whole story that you were a big part of kind of keeping it rolling on your own part. So I think you did a great job with that.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I was going to ask if I could ask one question real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Can you talk a little bit about in Bluebell Wood a little bit?
Yeah. So it was my first time directing. I wrote it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I met a bunch of really awesome kids, really talented kids, on a set back in 2017. I was playing one of the main roles in a TV pilot, and we were shooting the backstory when all the action kind of kicks off. And it starts off in a school, so I was tasked with casting the extras, the kids who were in the school. And we had a great bunch of kids come down, got on really well with the mums. And I said, I'd love to write a showreel scene for these kids, because a lot of them hadn't really been on camera before and they were struggling with trying to get experience. And it's one of those things, you know, as an actor starting out, a lot of people want to see what you've been in before or how you are on camera. But if you've not got the material, then it's really difficult. So I thought, you know, I'll write something for these kids. We'll get something shot so they can have it as a showreel scene. And I kind of suffered from writer's block for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then all of a sudden, I just thought of this scene in my head, which would be perfect. It was like a sleepover kind of scene where they were all telling scary stories, you know. And I wrote it, and straight away I just like kept on typing and typing and typing, and in the end I had like 12 pages worth of material, and I thought, you know, kind of want to keep this to myself, you know. I want these kids to be in it, but I don't really want it to be just a showreel scene. I'd like to do a film. Anyway, fast forward 2 or 3 years, we made Bluebell Wood at the end of May this year. We got postponed about 9 months because of COVID. But then we ended up shooting it with the kids in question, and a whole bunch more. We ended up with 34 child cast members, which was insane, but it was a lot of fun. Kids are incredible on set. People say don't work with kids or animals, and it's like, I honestly don't know why. The kids were fantastic. But Bluebell Wood, it's a mystery, fantasy, adventure type film. I designed it to be a proof of concept for a feature film. So we're actually premiering it in 2 days' time. And from there, we're going to submit it to film festivals and can just see what happens. But we had a lot of help with the crowdfunder. We initially wanted £3,000. I'm not really too sure what that is in dollars. Maybe $3,500, I think.
Probably five here. There's a big transition.
Yeah. But we finished the campaign on £7,000, maybe $7,500. So we really increased the production value there. We got some pretty serious graders in because there's a little bit of CGI in there as well. So yeah, it's very much a passion project for both myself, co-director Laura Saxon, Saxon Productions, who's producing the film, and all the kids who've been involved since day one, really. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you and I interviewed the cast, and you guys were in the middle of filming, and then COVID just flattened it. And I think it's really neat. I mean, I remember you telling me that you were basically making this sort of like a mini pilot, so to speak, because you wanted to do something much bigger. And I think you have a real chance. I like the concept, and I think it's time. I think it's time for another a series with young people on an adventure, and we really haven't had that really. Probably. I mean, it's done well, probably since the Hunger Games. I mean, as far as younger people goes. So, I think the opportunity's there. And how did you like directing?
I really enjoyed it. I think it's definitely something I'd like to do again. Because we had quite a small team, me and Laura Saxon, we did shot lists, storyboards, pretty much 3 or 4 different job roles in one. But I really enjoyed it. And actually, if we hadn't have had the lockdown and COVID, I wouldn't have had the time to do it. So in a way, it was a blessing in disguise. Also with us having to halt filming from last October, 2020, we did a few rewrites as well. And again, it really increased production value, storyline, and it gave us that time in the headspace to really make it as the best that it can be, So no, I really, really enjoyed directing. I wouldn't like to direct and act at the same time. I'm quite a perfectionist, so I like to give 110% into everything, and I don't think I would be able to do that if I'd have been both directing and acting. But then again, I've never really had that opportunity to do both, so I don't know. But no, in answer to your question, I really enjoyed directing. It's something that I'd really like to do again.
John, are you still there? Oh boy. Okay. Well, I know that he's under what they call a tornado warning. So
Yeah.
there's no severe weather. So I hope to hell that nothing happens. But you and I will just talk until he gets back. So as far as Bluebell Wood goes, I mean, I agree with you. I think a first-time director, especially acting, writing, or acting and directing, I mean, for the first time, that's a tough road. But now that you got that underneath your belt, I mean, now you had the directing fever. I mean, do you want to go ahead and do that again? I mean,
yeah, definitely, and I want to do it with kids again because I had such a great time. I mean, directing adults is amazing because they know they know how to develop a character themselves. So in terms of direction, it's more or less directing them along with the DOP to make sure that the angles are correct, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But with the kids, I'm very much a kid person. I've always worked with children since I was pretty much a kid myself. So when we were on set and we were acting, we were doing a lot of facial warm-ups and character development on set. We were doing a lot of mimicking as well. So in terms of facial expression, I was sort of, before the camera was rolling, I was doing the facial expressions that I'd like them to do with the character, with the dialogue, and they would mimic it back to me, if that makes sense. I found that really fun. It was, yeah, it was such a great time, honestly, and because it was such a passion project, I was choking back tears when I was watching the monitor so many times. And when we wrapped, oh my word, it's a good job I wasn't wearing any makeup on that day because it would have been streaming down my face.
Now, how did you compare your experience as a director directing children to your experience as a child actor on your first movie, which was 71?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think the amount of experience that I've got as an actor and also working with children in a non-acting environment, I sort of put those together and realized what I would have liked from a director, which I didn't get on my first film, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually a really interesting question, Patrick.
Welcome back, sir.
Oh, yay!
You guys all right?
The storm was over, so I want to come back to my comfort zone down in the Doomsday.
Oh, okay.
I figured Patrick had it done. I was listening. Very interesting stuff. I just figured you'd want to.
I thought you had to run. I was like, oh boy, are you all right? Are you all right?
Yeah, no tornado. It seems like we're pretty good. So I just like coming down to the office. I enjoy my room here and doing these things. So I figured I had the time. I checked outside. I'm like, looks good to me. Come downstairs. But you have really fascinating stuff. I didn't realize you've been acting as long as you have. Something I missed the one part, 71 with the children.
Yeah, she was explaining how she was directed in Bluebell Wood, and she was directing children as a director. She's directing children. I wanted to see how that experience compared to her when she was a child. She did her one of her first movies was a movie called 71, which is about the troubles in Ireland. And so it's asking her how what was her experience like working on 71. Did she have a good experience? Did she transfer that experience as on that set? Did she take that and apply it to her directing the kids on Bluebell?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that movie 71 looks really good. That was one I'm definitely want to take a look at. I watched the trailer for it and it looks really, really good.
It's a really intense movie. I mean, with it being my first actor, I mean, it wasn't really an acting role. It was more sort of a background role, like blink and you'll miss me, But with it being my first experience, it kind of like propelled the desire to keep on working in film. But yeah, it was a really epic set to be on. There was a lot of people. There were sort of army tanks. There was yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, I really loved the trailer for that. I was like, I got to see this because I love movies like that. War with, I don't know, the whole setting looked really good, and I wanted to ask you about that. So I'm glad Patrick did. So that was your first role, huh? That was your first
Yeah, I
on.
did. I did a little bit of extra work before that, but on IMDb it is my first credit. Yeah.
And what year did that come out? 2012, I think it said. Was it
Oh
2000?
God, something like that. Yeah, it was really early on.
Okay. Yeah, that's one I have on my watch list already. So
Yeah,
that,
I actually own a copy of that.
oh, do
I
you?
yeah, I actually bought a copy of it.
It's very hard hitting. Like
Yeah,
it's a really intense watch. But if you want to learn a little bit about the history of Ireland, yeah, it's definitely one to watch for sure.
I'm gonna.
yeah, it's a powerful film. I mean, there's so many great films about the Troubles, and it's good to see a different perspective of it. And that must have been really intense. When you were small, you must have just been looking around, wondering what was going on. Because everything is so much bigger to you as a child. It's like immense. And then you come back and rewatch it, and it's probably even bigger now than when you first remember it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna plug my phone in because my charging thing has just come up. I'm so sorry. Um, my light's gonna go off. Oh gosh. Okay, we're okay. I'm so sorry about that.
No worries.
No, actually, when I was filming, I didn't know really what the film was about. I just kind of knew that it was about true events and there was going to be some violence in there, but I didn't know the extent of it. And when I watched it back, I was like, "Whoa, it's quite hard hitting." And there was a lot of children who were younger than me as well who weren't able to watch it until they got a bit older. Um, but yeah, it was a fantastic experience. And actually, my mum was an extra in that as well. So I was on set with my mum um, while we were there. It was one of her first times on set as well. Um, so yeah, it was a really nice sort of bonding experience. Because my parents haven't always, I wouldn't say encouraged, but they haven't really wanted me to act because it's. I mean, let's face it, it's not the most stable of jobs, is it, as an adult or just in general. Um, so that was one of the reasons why I signed my parents up to do extra work, so they could kind of see and get the buzz, hopefully get the buzz of being on set to sort of figure out why I liked it and why I wanted to do it so much. So yeah.
Let me ask you this question, if I can. if you were a mother, would you put your daughter in, or son in that a movie like that? I mean, as an extra, when you would knowing what you know now.
I think if obviously it's down to the child and their maturity level for sure. But there's a lot of things that you can do whereby you can protect the child from the storyline. So I think if provisions were in place where the child wouldn't be exposed to anything drastic and to anything sort of mature material, yeah, I think so. Because for me, the experience, I really enjoyed it, and if anyone else had the opportunity to do something like that, I'd say yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I mean, I've seen some movies, some really intense movies. I've seen some actresses that are just, you're right. I mean, some actors in the maturity level is through the roof. It's sort of eerie to see how someone so young and just able to walk in there and just own that. And then you just got to, you got to figure out there's some that just get in there and are like, no, not for me. I just like, I don't know. I think as a parent, I think, I don't know. I mean, it's a really interesting question, and I asked it, but I'm wondering what I would do. I guess my answer would probably be the same as you. I mean, as long as they want to do it, as long as they're excited to do it, then let them do it. I mean, there's certain things I wouldn't want my child to do, but some filmmakers encourage and allow, which I find like I don't like seeing a child actor, anybody under 18. I don't like seeing them portrayed on camera as like drinking or smoking or swearing. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind a curse word now and then because that's life, but I really am against the drinking and especially the smoking scene. I don't think that's really smart or responsible for directors to do that. Hey, I know they say it's part of the story, but you know what? Stories can be changed. That's why it's called editing.
Exactly. And there's a lot of actors out there who are over 18 who look a lot younger, who could do that. And I don't. It's not a responsible move for any production company or director to cast a child in a role where they'd have to be smoking. Drinking, I mean, you wouldn't have to tell the child actor that you're pretending to drink alcohol. You just give them the liquid and just say, hey, pretend you're having a drink and have a great time. That's one thing. But I think smoking is definitely where I draw the line for sure.
Jodie Foster, she as a child actress, she went through a lot of that.
Yeah. Oh, she
where they put really
Drew Barrymore, Tatum O'Neal.
Yeah.
I don't know if John, if you asked her about this, but I definitely want to ask her about this. But I want to talk about Halloween Evil Lives.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because it is October. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's Spooktacular. This is the October is also known as Spooktacular. Yes, that's trademark to Hobbs Horror, who's in the chat. I now owe him $5 for using the word Spooktacular because he's copyrighted it. But talk to us a little bit about Halloween Lives. I mean, how exciting is this? I mean, I'm just curious how you guys got it made.
We're actually still in pre-production at the moment. I'm talking with Michael, the director. It's quite apt, really. Michael Myers. It amused me anyway. It was quite a chance encounter on Facebook. I did a couple of auditions and then I got the role. So hey, look at that! That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
I got quite a few of Michael Myers. I'm a little bit of a fan.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's by Boogeyman Studios. This one's actually signed by James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers and the new Michael Myers. Yeah,
wow.
I was lucky enough to meet them in Orlando. Yeah, they were both really cool.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and since the guy who made this, he gave me coveralls so I can made me another mask, and I wanted him to have it. So I'm actually going to be sending it to him. I'm going to miss this mask a lot, but yeah, the autographs are in there.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah, they were both really nice. James Jude Courtney, I spent a lot of time with. Like we went out after, had a beer. Like I wound up running into him at the pool bar, sat there and talked for a while. Yeah, he was a cool dude. He was an awesome Michael Myers too. Whether you like the new movie or not, he was awesome. And you could see him and Nick Castle have this bond where Nick Castle kind of looks it's like handing the torch over to him. They even sign their name, like they'll put their name and then the Shape. So they go with that. Yeah, that was a fun trip to Orlando.
That's so cool. I love
You know,
that.
I admit I really like when he's called the Shape more than Michael Myers. When they say
Well,
the Shape, I think that just to me that they needed to do that all the time. But now he's just always Michael Myers, Michael Myers, Michael Myers, and to me it's like the Shape me could be anything, anyone, anywhere. You just don't know. And I think that would, you know, and if they would have did that in the first movie, it would have elevated to classic status. But that's all I'm going to say about that, right, John?
As a kid, the only time you hear Michael Myers, you never really hear his name.
No.
As a child, that's why people were. There's people. I'm not sure if it ever was written or done, but a lot of the reason people say the Shape is because you never know it's Michael Myers for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. And because 78 was it was supposed to be a one and done type movie. There wasn't supposed to be a sequel. It was supposed to be where Halloween 3 went with Season of the Witch, where they were all individual stories. There was never supposed to be a sequel. So
Right.
Evil Lives.
So have you guys started the movie? I mean, you guys got your locations, your budget, and everything. And I guess the biggest question is, how are you going to do it without? Did you have permission from who is it? Universal has the rights now.
I believe that the director has taken care of the whole rights situation. Because it's a fan movie, they're not as strict with those kind of things. But I did speak with Michael about this when I first became involved, and he assured me that everything's been put in place and it's all fine.
Yeah.
They shot some test footage, I believe, yesterday and the day before with a couple of the actors who were already, I believe they shot in Wisconsin, and it went really well. From what I've heard, I haven't really had a chance to speak to them properly. They're all kind of still high from filming, you know. So I'm waiting to hear back in a couple of days. I believe the main shoot is set for September next year. They just sort of the script is ready to sort of rock and roll. It's just a load of pre-production that they need to do, sort of permissions from certain areas for filming. But yeah, the script, to all intents and purposes, is ready to rock and roll. It's just you know, the formalities beforehand, which take the longest, you know.
Well, would this be your first trip across the pond to shoot this movie?
We froze.
Will this be your first? Will this be your first time to come to the U.S. to
Did
shoot
we
this movie?
freeze?
Nope. Can you hear me? I think.
Hello?
Might
No,
be
I
her.
hear you. I hear you. I think she might be bounced out again.
Yeah, I think she lost that signal again.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I want to find out if she can even tell us which timeline she's working on in Halloween. Like, is it a sequel to H2, sequel to H4, H5, H6? Because there's so many different timelines in the Halloween series.
Well, I tell you what, she comes back up, and you can ask those questions, Senor.
Yeah, I will. As soon as I was getting ready to, and then she got kicked out. Because you know me, once you bring up Michael Myers or something.
I know, and you know how I managed to slip in a sly fun, and you missed it. I'm sort of surprised at that.
Oh, I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it.
Oh, I'm surprised I'm still here. You know, I have to have a little fun with you about Halloween. You know, Keith,
I
man,
know how you feel about the series.
I think you and Keith are probably the two most diehard and the community members I know about Halloween. You guys are just fanatical about it, and I think that's awesome because you know I'm fanatical a little bit. Just
I'm fanatical about Michael Myers, and yeah, you're anti-fanatic of Halloween,
well, I
but
wouldn't say
you like
anti-fanatic. Wait a minute. I'm
you just
not.
think
I'm not
you just think it's
fanatic.
it's overhyped. You don't think it's as good as people think it is.
It's good. It's solid entertainment. I mean, it's good. I mean, I like the first two movies a lot. The
Yeah,
first two movies, and I really liked H2O. I really felt that if they wanted to, they could have closed it there. But you know what? But you know, if you think about it, in a way, you know, this is one of those things where it's like this is a good reason why they didn't end it. Because if they had the movies like this from the fans, maybe they're not being made. Because you know, if they would have ended the series, it would have faded away from the public conscious. But now that he's still alive and he's still viable and he's still making a shitload of money, now we get movies, fan movies like this. Because this is the first time I've ever seen a Halloween fan movie
well,
being
there's
made.
one coming out Friday, a fan movie, Haddonfield Nightmare by Braden Timmons,
I'm not.
and
Yeah, I've
that's
never seen it.
because it's the sequel to H2O.
Yeah, I have never seen because you know fan movies are tricky. They're really tricky. You have to literally go through the eye of the needle to get it done. Trust me. Ask anybody who's
Well,
ever tried.
it's a matter of you can't really profit. You can crowd fund, but you can't sell it. I don't
Right.
think there's something like that. You can't sell it with that. My friend Steve Merlo was doing the prequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's loopholes you can do, but I think you can't sell it. Like even Haddonfield Nightmare will be on YouTube, and I'm not sure if the same will be for Laura and her film if they're able to distribute.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
you
hope
can.
that they will.
Yeah,
So I was going to ask you, Laura.
it can't get sold. It's just got to go online as a fan movie and just get views and comments, and that's pretty much about it, really. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I think to me, it's like I don't know why. I mean, I can understand putting like a cap to it. Like, okay, here's the deal. Here's what we'll do. You make your movie. You make your movie. We sign off on it. You have a cap of say $500,000. You know, you can sell it up to $500,000, cleaning away yours. Once you hit 500,000 plus, then we want like 20%, which I think is fair because it's their property. I understand that. So 20%, both parties win. Both win. A studio has another movie out, helps you know, because it lengthens their story. It lengthens their franchise, and it keeps it relevant in the public's eye. And two, it helps the filmmaker who made it by letting them make the money, and and showing respect to the franchise and showing respect to the process. I don't understand. I mean, watching people try to make Star Trek episodes, fan movies, which I've seen a lot of those. I just feel sad.
You know what it is, Patrick?
I don't
It's
think-
greed. It's greed.
I don't think fan movies should be punished.
I don't think so either.
No.
I think it's the ultimate honor if somebody's making a fan film or an indie film.
Yeah.
Yep.
Friday the 13th is another one. They really, with this lawsuit, they weren't able to. I mean, they lost so much money between this. A dumb lawsuit. Dumb.
Yeah.
Where they all. I mean, Friday the 13th is hot. Horror movies are really hot right now. Like anybody who's an actor or an actress like yourself, Laura, horror is the way to go, especially indie. It's so popular right now, especially in the States. It's as popular, I think, if not more popular than it was in the 80s. At least at this moment.
I was going to ask you, Laura, will this be your first trip across to the U.S. when you film the Halloween movie?
I think she froze again.
Oh boy, we'll have to ask that question as soon as she comes back on. As soon as she comes back on, we're gonna ask that question.
No, I've done a couple of trips actually. I did a Friday the 13th fan film a couple of years ago.
Oh,
Can you guys
Which
hear
one?
me?
Yeah, which fan film? Oh no, we lost her, I think. Which fan film did you do for
I'm
Friday
back.
13th?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
yeah, we hear you. Yeah, we hear you. Wow, I don't know why we're doing so good there.
Can you hear me?
You might be better off exiting the room and coming back in, and probably give you a clear connection again. What do you think, Patrick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's the way to go. Yeah, I'm wondering which one. I'm wondering if she was in Never Hike. Well, Never Hike Alone was pretty much a two-person thing.
Yeah, this is this connection. I've had this problem before too with overseas interviews, where it'll be glitchy and whatnot.
Yeah, and plus she's at the hotel too, which
Right.
I mean, it's actually gotten better. It's just a
Yeah,
few
it has
times
been.
she
It
pops
has
out
been.
again. Usually get a good few minutes, and then it'll cut out once in a while and come back in. So I'm not too worried about it. For the most part, the beginning I was getting concerned. I'm like, I don't think we're going to be able to do this because the connection was so bad, but we were able to get
Yeah.
it rolling.
Uh,
See if anybody. I haven't seen too much in the chat, but I don't know if it's freezing up on here. And I left my other device upstairs.
no, you're fine. Let me check. See if she pinged us.
Yeah, I can see when she pops in, like here she is. There she is.
I'm back. I heard the question.
Oh, good.
Good.
No, this won't be my first trip across the pond. I was there a couple of years back for Friday the 13th Vengeance, in Seattle, Washington, and it was amazing. Like, it was literally the best experience ever.
Vengeance was good. It's been a while since I saw it, but I enjoyed that. I didn't realize. Now I'm going to watch it again with a new appreciation because Laura's in there.
Yeah, that's right.
I only had a very, very small role in that one, but I was so proud. I still am so proud to be a part of it. It was the cast and crew were just incredible, and we all ended up going to Crypticon. Like we got invited as the cast to go to Crypticon, and there were so many people there who Monster had actually premiered the year before at Crypticon, and I went over for it, which is where I met the director of Vengeance. And that's how I ended up being in Vengeance, which was pretty much fate. You know, it's this industry. It's who you know, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yes. It really is. What's Crypticon?
Crypticon's the first event I did. That was the first.
It's like yeah, it's a horror convention
in Kansas City. Yeah, I did mine in Kansas City. I was going to ask you, where was your Crypticon that you went to?
It was in Seattle. It was amazing.
Okay. You must know Chaz and stuff. Chaz was the promoter there.
Yes.
Yeah. I did Crypticon in Kansas City in July. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. Small world.
It was the first time I've been to a horror convention. I'd never been to one before, but oh wow, everybody was just dressed up. It was insane. It was great.
That was my first.
Have you been to one in the UK since?
No, I haven't. I haven't really had the chance.
Oh, okay.
I booked one down in London, but then COVID hit, so we didn't really get to go. So I'm hoping to do another one. It's just really great to have so many people who are just massive fans of horror all in one place. It's like everybody kind of speaks the same language, you know?
Yes, exactly.
I took my parents to Phantasm in Orlando. And my mom, she's on her scooter. Both my parents had the time of their life. It was so awesome. Like they're totally in with like the tables and that I do and the whole experience. I had two of them. I let my mom do a raffle. She was all excited.
Oh.
She was happy and all proud. My dad's the same thing. My dad doesn't get excited about anything. He was actually really excited, especially my parents getting older. It's great to see them get out and enjoying things and yeah, they had so much fun. They did. They're on board. So I'm already planning in May to do one in Ocala. So My mom's
it's
all
amazing.
excited about that one. I let her handle some things. It gives her something to do because she's retired. My dad works a lot. He's a computer guy, so she's really enjoying being involved and helping me out any way she can with the events. Yeah, it was really nice. We had such a good time at Phantasm. And it
Oh,
was
that's
cool.
amazing.
And it was cool in Kansas City because I got to go with my 3 individuals I take care of. So that made it really nice. Yeah, they had a
Oh,
blast.
awesome.
Yeah,
Hey,
it was.
excuse me real quick. I'm gonna have to step off the interview, John. I got a call coming in. I gotta handle that. But Ellen,
Okay.
it was an honor to meet you. I'm so stoked. This has been awesome. I'm still gonna be in the chat, listening. But thanks for having me on, man. This has been a blast, John.
Oh, thanks for all that.
Yeah, I'm so thankful
Appreciate
so much.
Oh, it's great to
Sorry.
finally meet you, Patrick.
Yes,
You
I
guys
will. I will stay in better touch, Ellen. I promise. All right, you guys. Thank you so much.
Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Yeah, so your first horror convention. I'm better at this than the details because I had all my paperwork all set, and I'm so bad with I want to catch up on more films, and we went over a few of them. So you got the convention bug. Is that something that you'd love to do more of, like for sure?
I really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
And as an actress, it's great for your career too because you meet like you were saying, you meet so many people, and then you start networking and the convent and connections you make. Is that something you'd like to do? Is your ultimate goal to act in America, or you want to keep acting in UK? And if you get offered a role,
I would. The dream is to be able to act in both countries, both America and the UK. The people in America are just amazing. Like,
oh, I thought you were going to go the opposite direction.
no,
Appreciate
gosh, no, I absolutely love it over there. I did Friday the 13th in Seattle, and then at the end of 2019, I went over to Alabama for a film called Survivor Girls. Um, I was a stunt coordinator on that. I did have a role in it, which I was supposed to shoot in May last year, but COVID hit and I wasn't allowed to fly, unfortunately. So I was really, really gutted about that because the crew and the cast on that were just amazing. It was very much female led. So there were 7 female leads and we all got on so well. But I mean, the idea of low budget in the US is literally like big budget here in the UK. It's insane. Like, you guys have like food trucks, you have trailers. Here it's like we're on location. There's like 4 people, get a meal deal from the Tesco. You know, it's it's crazy. It's a whole. I mean, it is a whole different world. But it really felt like I was on set. You know, it was incredible.
the experience was just night and day because you guys,
Oh,
like you
it's
said,
phenomenal.
you're the film you're working on now, you're finishing shooting and it's going to be out before Halloween, which is
Yeah,
insanely quick.
it is. And do you know what? As an actor as well, for me, I have a lot of patience, but when I've shot something, I want it to be out straight away. You know, this is the worst part, waiting for something to come out. And then, you know, I've done films which have come out like 2 years after I wrapped, and I'm watching it. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even remember shooting that bit. It's like, wow. But this one, it's the bits that we did last week and the week before, they've already been edited. So after tomorrow, they pretty much need to edit and grade, and that's it. The soundtrack's already done. Yeah, yeah. Some companies are really, really quick, and it's amazing. But obviously, these guys are on a time frame. They need to have it out for Halloween. And I don't know. Every company I've worked with have been incredible. Even if it's taken a couple of years for the film to come out, the end product has been absolutely phenomenal. And even though I've been a bit impatient waiting for the film, it's always, the wait has always been worth it.
Yeah, yeah. It's especially the post production. They'll find any mistakes where I don't know. It sounds like filming in the UK and the US is just night and day. The experience,
Yeah.
like the wait time stinks. But you said it was more of a set, and like you said with the trailers, like one of my friends, Steve Merlo, is doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel.
I saw that online. Yeah.
Yeah, the trailer's amazing. Another friend of mine's doing the Third Channel, which is a sequel to Halloween 3, the one that didn't have Michael Myers. And the trailer they came up with, impressive considering uh, another buddy of mine, Jason Vandergriff, he's working on a few things and he's got a new movie coming out, and the trailer on that like blows my mind. And these are just teasers. So yeah, the excitement I have for indie, especially a lot of the projects I'm getting involved with or trying to produce a role or whatever, it's the quality is just incredible for indie films. It's just amazing. I think it's a really exciting direction. I really think Hollywood's kind of lost its creativity, where these indie projects are the ones you're going to really get something new and different, whether it's what you like. You might like the film, you might dislike the film, but at least they're doing something different.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing as well with indie film. There's a lot of brand new ideas. I mean, it's still horror, but there's a lot of insane new ideas coming up that just aren't really done in Hollywood. And as much appreciation as I have for Hollywood, and as much as I'd love to work there, indie just has so much more scope because the companies and the production companies, they know they're not going to get the money for it, and they just think, you know what, let's just do it anyway, and they do it. And whether it's crowdfunded, whether it's privately financed, or they fund it themselves, they've got the idea. And a lot of indie films are passion projects, like mine personally. And when you've got a certain vision, then you're not going to compromise on the vision. You just want it to be exactly how you want it to be, regardless of whether you've got the money for it or whatever. You're just going to do it, and yeah, indie is really up and coming at the moment. And I think because of the time off with COVID, a lot of people have had a lot of time to think and to write and to create. And now is definitely the time when everybody's like, you know what, we've had time off, let's just do it. It's now or never. And it's amazing to see all these new projects coming up, all these new directors who have never done anything before, or it's been several years since, and they've had this realization during COVID, you know what, I really miss this. I'm stuck inside the house. I take for granted everything that you do day-to-day basis, because you're stuck inside the house. And I think a lot of people who are fans of indie as well, with crowdfunders, they want to see it. So they're donating, they're helping out, and it's just really, really nice to see not just the horror community, but the indie community coming together as well and helping these films get made. And there's so many people networking, like we were just speaking about. I network a lot. Social media is massive for me, and the amount of new projects and material coming up on my Facebook and on my timeline, it's mind-blowing, and it's so lovely to see. It's amazing.
There's so much work coming now for indie actors and actresses with all these projects, and you get on the right one, it can go a real long way. And I love, like we talk about Hollywood, they got so much invested into these. It's more of a business and marketing. Is it going to sell? Is it not going to sell? They don't want to take those risks. Where indie, you're getting it from the fans, and even the people that support feel a part of the movie. Even if somebody takes $5 and supports this project, for a lot of people, it's like, I put $5 or I put some money into this, and I can't wait to see it come out, because they feel involved in their own way. And I think that's a great thing about indie. Everybody can be involved to help a project, whether they're the actor, the actresses, the music, the sounds, the set designs. even like me, somebody who looks out and wants to sit down and get to know some of these actors and actresses and introduce them to other people on my part. Patrick's the same thing with Have Cheetah Will View. There's a lot of us out there, and it's been fun. Like COVID got me into doing what I'm doing. Really, I needed something to do while I was locked in inside and lockdown with my guys. And one of my guys, huge mask fan, everything was masked. So I started with one mask, and I got a lot now. Way too much stuff now, but it's fun. It's fun dealing with all these different, not just actors, actresses, writers, talented mask makers, talented people that could build sets and do all this other stuff. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Not COVID, but the journey. So yeah,
Exactly.
I'm so excited for indie films. Like I've become an indie fanatic now. So seeing actresses like you and then watching their films, it's great. It's great. You get a whole new appreciation for what goes into these films with the indie projects, from top to the littlest person on set or donor. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's an amazing journey. I'm absolutely loving it. And everybody always says, even if you can't donate, if you're not in a position to donate, and just share the post. It sounds so cliche, but honestly, a share can go such a long way on social media. It's, just sharing a link. It can be seen by thousands of people, and it's just a way of supporting a project. And anybody who does share the link or shares anything, you're automatically a part of that film family, that specific film, because you shared the link, you're supporting them, you're helping to get the word out. And it's just so nice to see. It's amazing. And that's why I really, really love the indie community.
I'm with you. Everything you said, I'm with you on that. It's been fun even from my end, just sharing it out and seeing other people get excited about a film. And Doomsday's Crypt, what I've been doing with the Facebook and other communities out there, we work together, a lot of us groups, and seeing what other groups can do and the way the word gets spread for indie projects or talented people. It's the way to network. It's free advertising where you don't have to spend a big budget on advertising on TV. I think whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, that's the new place to be for a lot of these things where you really get fans. I mean, a lot of people I know don't even watch TV anymore. Oh, I'm watching YouTube, or I'm watching this, or I'm watching that. And
it's true.
Yeah. But you've been so amazing, Laura. I'm glad. I was getting worried we couldn't get that connection at the beginning, and I'd love to have you on again. I'm usually way more prepared on movies and stuff, but that tornado came in. I lost my paperwork. I ran upstairs to get everything done. So I got all tongue twisted. But I want to see you kicking some ass in a film soon. I'm looking forward to it. And keep me updated on everything you're doing, because I want to follow how you're doing in your career. And I'll let you know if I know anything that's coming up. And
that's so kind of you. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for spending the time with me. I know it's late for you there. It's got to be what, midnight now or later?
Oh, it's not quite midnight. It's like 25 to 11. Got loads of time.
Okay. I wasn't sure on the time difference, but you've been amazing. I would definitely love to have you on again. And
thank you for having me. Thank you for putting up with my rubbish connection as well.
Oh, it's okay. Usually it's my connection. I'm here like, it's got to be me. It's got to be me. Patrick was going to set it up because I'm here like, it's my connection. But thank you so much, Laura. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. And make sure to follow Laura Ellen Wilson. Check out these movies. I got a link in the description. I'm going to add more links on the Facebook page, Doomsday's Crypt. If you're not there yet, check it out. I'll be posting Laura's info there, and make sure we support her every step of the way and watch her blow up in this field, because I think she's got the looks, she's got the skills, and she knows martial arts. So she's got it all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.
I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.